Hello orienteering friends, welcome at the second race of this day in Louny. This is a sprint relay. I'm running men-women 180 category, and here comes my first leg, person, woman. So we were 2 men and 2 women, I guess. I don't remember exactly. So now to the mapping start, that was easy. Couple people warned me about some big hole here, but honestly I didn't even notice it. I don't know where it was. Somehow I passed around it, around this old fortification. So here to the first control, that was a corner of this restaurant, of the restaurant garden, let's say. So quite clear. Now to the second control again. Here it was easy to get to the building. That was clear, but as you can see, there is some kind of a fence. That was not very clear to me. I remember, you know, since my eyesight is not that good, I remember I was struggling a little bit. But once you are at the place, you can see how to get to your control. And yeah, here it is. Now I was already looking which way to go to control number 3. Now still reading it. It was very difficult for me to decide. At first I was like thinking going around this big school, which means going to the right here. But then I turned around and decided otherwise. So I guess I lost those 20-15 seconds here. I decided to go, there are blocks of garages, and here you can see a parking place, so I decided to go around this baseball pitch and through this, there is a small like a street, through this parking place, which leads to the garages. Then again, it was a little bit difficult for me to read the map, because you can see that there are 2 like small meadows, or how like small greens between the garages, and I wasn't sure if I can pass through it or not. Then it turned out that I think here I could pass through, but I decided late, you know, I should have just continued here. Then I decided to turn around and pass through here, but this was not necessary. I could have run that first. It wasn't shorter, or I think it wasn't that of a difference. I could have just continued. As you can see, those 2 runners, they passed, so I just lost some seconds by turning around. And then here through this garden, I guess, school garden maybe, I don't know, but this was clear. What wasn't quite clear to me was the placement of control number 3, because there is a small green and a pavement, and I wasn't sure if it is behind this green bush or where. So I decided to follow that guy. Even here I'm, you know, reading the map, struggling. And then it wasn't very clear to me if I can pass through this hole here, or if whether not, if it is possible, green or not. So again, I think I made a little bit of a mistake. I think it was possible to pass through because upon closer reading of the map, you can see that there is a hole in this green fence. I think this is my next control. Yeah, this is control 4. Now I decided to go around the block of flats here from the right side. From the left side it looked longer. That's it, not much to add. Then around control 5, here I had some sort of struggle to read if I can pass through those, but as you can see there are big black blocks, so it wasn't passable at all. And yeah, so here passing the street, getting to control number, here I should get to control number 5. My control number 5 is in front of me in this corner. As you can see, it was farsted, so there was another control 5. And here I wanted to pass through that passage, but I missed it. Maybe as I was looking at the map, I missed this passage, even though there is some guy passing through. I don't know why I didn't go through that. Really, maybe this guy, this young boy in front of me, who had the control here, I was confused. So here again, a mistake that cost me like, I don't know, 20 seconds, I guess. Totally stupid mistake. Now I could have gone here to the right, around that big block of flats, but I decided to go straight. It seemed more interesting, let's just say. And I think even better for me, because my control 6 was here, like more to the left, so it was the edge of one of these meadows. For some reason my camera stopped recording, and I didn't notice it. So here you can only see how am I closing to my control number 6, but I tripped and fell down, and the camera fall down from my head, so I had to put it on again, and I noticed that it was not running, so I started it back, and here we are. But since I fell down, I was a little bit thrown away and overshot it here. Now this is my control 7, so I had to return. So another like 10-15 second mistake. Now control number 8, that was clear, just straight opposite corner of another building. This was not difficult. Control number 9, again, no route choice, I think here, basically running straight. Not sure why I stopped. Maybe I needed really to look into the map and to refocus a little bit after the fall. I was expecting to see the control here on my right, but it was, I didn't notice it, and then it was behind this car or something. But I think I didn't lose much time here. Now there was almost a compulsory passage through this zebra crossing. And my control 10 is here on my left, this small significant tree. So that was clear, and then around this building there was my control 11, another significant tree. So here I wasn't really hesitating. I remember, you know, reading the map quickly and running with confidence to control 11. I had more difficulty with control number 12 because there was a lot of lines around this tennis courts, and so you have your control there, you have your control 15, 14, 13, whatever, and then tennis courts, fences, so that was kind of difficult for me to read. I almost ran straight to my control 13. I think it was control 13. Yeah, so here I entered the tennis courts area, went to the left to my control 12, but I had also my control 15 in the way, so that was this was a little bit of a distraction. I even saw this open gate here, which on the map was closed. So that was here you can see that I'm struggling to find my control 12 because, you know, you have many runners, you have many fences. So this was control 13, 12. Now control 13 was on this tennis court, so I saw it in front of me, but I had to go to the court. Here is the control, so I had to enter the court, you know, punch the control and then out of the court. And then number 14, here it was so quick that I couldn't even read, so control 14 is basically this bench on my left. But I misread the map apparently, so another 10 seconds lost here. And now to control number 15, which I knew where to go, but the thing was that the gate was open here, and it wasn't really clear to me if I can pass through it or not. Here in front of me, you can see that the gate is open. So I was, you know, deciding which way to go, chatting with this guy and trying to figure out where is the passage I'm supposed to go. And it was around this building in front of me. Still deciding. Okay, now it's here. Very narrow passage, but at least I must say they tried to make it interesting. So this was a nice, you know, touch, nice course setting idea. Now here to control 16, there is not much to say. We got out of the tennis court area and then straight to control 16. Control 17 was like control for the observers and for your next leg runner to catch you, that you are there. And I remember here I had a little bit of trouble reading where is control 18, so I was still reading the map, still couldn't properly understand it. That's why I stopped here. And now I knew, to be honest, and it was clear that I have to go across this bridge to the park and to the right side. A little bit of traffic here. but it seemed long, you know. At this point, my legs or my breath I was getting out of breath, to be honest. So here, you know, trying to push it to the control 18. Still, I wasn't sure what was it, what is it. It's some small bush, yeah, here. So I was, you know, I was happy that I'm here. Control 19 was mostly clear across the park to some fenced area. I think again my control was this bush. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was one of the toys, not toys, maybe like features like a swing or something. But let's see. I'm not sure. The difficulty here was a lot of runners, so we were colliding in these small gates, you know, like with this guy. Yeah, my control is this small tree, and then I'm just straight passing through the next gate, which is in front of me, and then there was this tree in just basically in front of me, but the control was from behind of this tree, but it was clear from the way the other runners were passing around it that it will be behind it. So I just follow their lead, let's say, here. Now I just passed through these greens. I knew that this is not my control and I had to just get to the bridge, so that was clear, and like the last control was visible in front of me, and basically even before I knew which way to go. So now it was clear. It was just, you know, physical activity. So I would say that I did a couple mistakes, at least those that I mentioned. So I lost I would say like around a minute on these mistakes, and then of course some time on the running, you know, and also not the fastest of them all. But I hope you enjoyed. Here is my next leg, and thanks for sticking by, and yeah, see you at the next race. Bye.